40% of CMOs are cutting agency budgets this year. Now, this is not hype. This is actually from Gartner's 25 CMO spend survey. So if you're still selling tasks rather than outcomes, and if you're just blending in, you're not just at risk, you're already on the cut list of these CMOs. But here's the actual good news, right? Some agencies aren't just surviving, they're actually growing at a rapid pace. So let's talk about what they're doing different and how you can stay off the chopping block, because it is stressful when all these budgets are getting cut. Now, most agencies are still just playing the vendor game. They take orders, they wait for, direction, they hope for good results, and hopefully they'll keep them around. But when CMOs actually tighten their budget, they don't just cut strategic partners, they actually cut vendors. They cut the noise, they cut, the confusion. Now, in-house teams are actually growing within the businesses you're going after, and AI is replacing basic production. So if your agency doesn't feel essential, you're going to be replaceable, period, right? Like, there's no question about it. I've hired several agencies over the past couple of years, and I've seen the pattern more times than I unfortunately can count. The pitch is great. They have this slick branding, the confident talk, that sexy, stupid deck. But once the deal closes, execution fails and falls apart. Communication fades away into the dust. Nobody takes ownership anymore, right? And that's what CMOs are frustrated with. And they're not just cutting to, at the end of the day to save money. They're cutting because they're tired of the disappointment, just like me, right? Now, Joey Coleman, an author of Never Lose a Customer Again, said it best, when he was at our digital agency experience. Most clients don't leave because of price. They leave because they don't feel seen or heard or supported in the first 100 days. And here's what most agencies miss. When you're celebrating and closing the deal, ringing the gun, high-fiving each other, they start wondering if they made a mistake. They have buyer's remorse. They're sitting there thinking, did I waste my budget, right? That gap between your excitement and their anxiety, that's where trust is built or it's destroyed, it's broken. That's why Marty's story is so powerful. He's been in the mastermind for a while, and he didn't just read Joey's book, he used it and redesigned his client experience. He flew out to meet his clients in person within the first 100 days. He led strategic planning. He clarified roles. He set expectations, and he didn't wait for someone to hand him a task. He took charge. That's the approach that didn't just help with retention, it helped him grow into a multi-million-dollar agency. Because when clients feel supported, right, they're going to stay. And when they stay, guess what? You scale. Here's the thing. We live in a Zoom world, right? Most agency relationships happen through Slack or Zoom and email. But ask yourself this. Would you cut a friend you've had dinner with, someone you've looked in the eyes with, or the vendor you only see on screen once a month with a PDF report? Human connection still matters. It builds trust. And trust, that's what keeps you on the budget when the cuts actually come. So how do you stay off the CMO cut list? You lead. You own the relationship. You make your agency uncuttable. And here's a couple things that you can do. First, look for quick wins in the first 30 days or even quicker. Don't wait to show value, way out. Get something launched right away. Fix something that was broken. Maybe they didn't even ask you for. Send a Loom video. Make your clients say, okay, these people move really, really quick. The second is over-communicate, especially when things aren't working. Most agencies go silent when results are weak, right? Like if you admit it, they do. But leaders say, here's what's happening right now. Here's what we're changing. And here's what's going to happen next. That level of honesty builds serious trust. Third, you need to be the resource, not just the responder. Stop waiting for tasks. Start showing up with ideas. New hooks, funnel fixes, better angles. Be the call they make when things break. Not when you broke them, but when things break in their company. And not just the inbox that pings you when they need a landing page. Now, fourth, I want you to take ownership, not orders. Stop asking, what do you want us to do next? I hate that. Start saying, here's what we're doing, and here's why we're actually doing it. That's how you shift from a vendor to a partner. And partners just don't get cut, right? Well, sometimes they do, but not often. Now, fifth, productize and simplify. If it takes you 30 minutes to explain what you do, you're already in trouble. I want you to package your offer and make it so simple. Make it outcome driven. I just had a person on the podcast, and they're a PR agency, and they said, we take publicity and turn that into pipeline. I was like, you nailed your position. You make it very simple, and I'm going to remember it. And I still remember it. And you want to make it obvious so it solves that real problem. So when you combine, the leadership, the clarity, the, transparency, and the execution, you go from optional to indispensable. Just look at Brittany, right? She's been in the mastermind for a while, and she stopped winging it. She committed to the system. And in 1 quarter, she grew monthly revenue by 35%, increased profit, which is more important, by 41%, and churn dropped by 32%. And SEO and social revenue, right? It more than doubled. That didn't happen from some fancy ad trick, right? Or some silver bullet. It happened because she led. So here's the deal. This isn't just about staying off a CMO's cut list, is it, right? It's about building an agency that deserves to grow. That earns trust, right? That delivers outcomes, and that leads. So don't just watch and move on after you watch this video. Take one of these ideas and do something today. Tighten your onboarding, right? Call, one of your clients that you haven't chatted with in a while and launch the damn thing. That's the hard truth, because agencies that win, they're not waiting for permission. They're praying for renewals. They're leading. They're building trust, right? They're making themselves uncuttable. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you want more content like this, make sure you click on the link on the screen or check out your most popular podcast platform where the full episode is there. And until next time, have a swank day. What are you doing? Go check it out. Click on the link. I'll see you soon.